Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Wednesday Night Madness on YouTube and StreamYard.com. It is Girl MF Michael Fletcher alongside Anthony Florio and Michael Bullock. Um, yeah, we're gonna dive right on in, guys. We're not gonna waste too much time. We got a lot to cover, so we're gonna start off with NXT. That was held last night, and we started off with NXT Women's Champion Becky Lynch. Was actually interrupted by a whole bunch of people. Man, I mean, a lot of people kind of got involved in this one. We had Laura Valkyria. We had then we had Indy Hartwell make her return to AEW, and Roxanne Perez. They all kind of try to make their reason or their, why they wanted a shot at the NXT Women's Championship. Well, they said that you're going to have a match, and the winner of that match will face Becky Lynch for the NXT Women's title, and that will be at Halloween Havoc. So, cookie cutter promo, really nothing special to talk about. It was solid for what it was worth. It was pretty good. Not bad, to say the very least. And Anthony Florio, it's all yours.
This was an overlong promo segment, but it served its purpose well. Enough to highlight new challengers, lining up Becky Lynch versus Indy Hartwell. Lyra Valkyria and Roxanne Perez is smart for the future of the NXT women's division. They each present unique challenges to the man that can compete near her level. Lynch appearing in NXT every week highlights her commitment to highlighting the women's division. She has done well in elevating the aura of the championship, and hopefully this experiment will last. Whoever defeats the man in the end must look like a future megastar. But there is one thing that happened during this segment that really rubbed me the wrong way. There were fans booing Roxanne Perez. For what? She's not a heel. Is it? I get it. It's Becky Lynch. I get it. I understand. I really understand. But those fans who booed her, let me tell you, there are times where pro wrestling fans can be as fickle as anybody. And I am damn sure not ashamed to say it. I'm telling it like it is right here and right now. What did Roxanne Perez do to make you boo her like that?
I hate to say this, Florio, and I might have the answer for you right here. I think it's too fast, too soon. And the thing is that a lot of people are starting to feel like she's getting every opportunity at trying to go after the NXT women's title, and I think they want her to chase more than get an opportunity. I hate to say this, but she's getting the Charlotte Flair treatment on the main roster. Is it fair? Absolutely not. You got every right to be upset. But I kind of feel like that is what's happening. She's so young and so dynamic that I hate to say this, but I think some fans are feeling like they're forcing Roxanne down their throats, and that's kind of their way of trying to quote unquote fight back against the establishment.
Okay, well, all right. I guess I can understand that, even though I still consider it, in the immortal words of Stephen A., disrespectful.
Oh, it is, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
And I 1000% agree with everything you just said. But absolutely. I want to play, but you know me, I need to play devil's advocate here. So that's the devil's advocate point. That would be if you're wondering why they're going after her, here's your reason why.
Okay, and I'm glad you and I appreciate you letting me know that. So I just wanted to get that off my chest. But other than that, I pretty much said my piece. Solid segment. MF said it best. Cookie cutter segment. So that's not real. There's nothing left for me to say. We'll get into the triple threat match later on. So not much more to say. Michael Bullock, come on in. And I mean, fine segment, yes, but the fans booing Roxanne Perez, I mean, yeah, that's not okay with me. It's not.
Yeah, I mean, fine segment for what it was, but I'm with you, Flora. This was, I mean, for the fans to boo Roxanne Perez, and I get it that she's, I mean, getting these opportunities, but I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't get why these fans are starting to turn on her. It's not like she was trying to force her way into the title picture. I mean, obviously, I think she wants to earn it, but I don't know. Sometimes I can't predict the way these fans are. I mean, the way you did was just so disrespectful. I mean, it just completely blows my mind. And like Stephen A. Smith would say, that is so disrespectful. You fans ought to be ashamed of yourselves for booing such a young. I mean, it's not like she did anything wrong to deserve this treatment, but come on, people, you're way better than this. I mean, you fans are the total definition of the word fickle. And also to channel the inner Daniel Bryan from when he was a heel, and he's not just a fickle. I mean, these fans aren't just fickle. What are some of the other things we could describe them, Florio?
Well, we're not gonna quite go that far, but fickle is the key word in all of this.
And shame. That's all I'll say. I could say some other things about these fans for the way they booed her, but I'm not going to go.
Time, Bullock.
I'm not going to go there. No way. So, fine segment here, but that's just my only gripe with this. So, nothing more to say. Let's move on, Fletch.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Wow. That was very interesting to say the very least. All right. So, with that said, we're just gonna move right on along here. And we actually had the first match of the night, which was Tyler Bate and Butch going up against Mark Coffey and Wolfgang. Winners of the bout in 10 minutes and 7 seconds. Tyler Bate and Butch. Anthony Florio, it is yours.
3 to 3 1/4. This was a good but not great match between four men who know each other very well. It felt shorter than it was, but it never quite reached its peak over 10 minutes. It's fun to see British strong style reunited, though. The big strong boy would be a perfect addition to the Brawling Brutes if they need a fourth member, and he is willing to join the main roster. Ridge Holland will benefit from extra time in NXT alongside Butch and Tyler Bate, but Gallus are going to struggle to stay relevant if they continue to lose to them. So 3 to 3 1/4 stars for this. So Michael Bullock, I mean, Tyler Bate with the Brawling Brutes. Could you imagine Tyler Bate with Sheamus, Ridge Holland, and Butch? Boy, that would be fun.
Yeah, that would definitely be fun to see Tyler Bate with Ridge Holland and Butch as part of the Brawling Brutes. I mean, if Tyler Bate joins them.
Bullock hit the wrong button again.
Yeah, he did. I just saw that. Look, where he was going for it and where he was going and he was talking about at the time, it was a solid. It was about a 3-star bout. Yeah, I'm a little shocked that is how it played out. But, at the end of the day, that's how it goes down. Yeah, so with that said, we do indeed move on. Bullock has not come back on yet. Oh, here he goes. Here we go. Just give me 1 second. All right, Mike. We know you hit the wrong button, so finish your thought.
No, I mean it dropped me for some reason.
Connection drop?
No, my connection's fine. I don't know what it was, but yeah, you didn't hit a wrong button, Fletch. I mean, it was something on my end that I don't know what the hell happened there, but yeah. So I'll give this about 3 to 3.25. So I pretty much said what I said earlier before I got dropped. So it's yours, Fletch.
Yeah, nothing more to say here. So let's see. So next up we had was all right. So we had a little bit of a whole bunch of promo stuff, but then we did have the triple threat fight. Lau Valkyria, Roxanne Perez, and Indy Hartwell, where the winner, like I said, will earn the next title shot for Becky Lynch's NXT Women's title at Halloween Havoc. And when it was all said and done, a winner of the bout in 11 minutes and 53 seconds, and a new #1 contender for the NXT Women's title is Lau Valkyria. She gets the title shot. Michael Bullock, it's all yours.
I'll give this about 3.25 stars on this one. I mean, this was a solid match here. I mean, yeah, Lyra Valkyria getting the opportunity for the NXT women's title against a woman that she partnered with a couple of weeks. I mean, 2-3 weeks ago, and remember it was Lyra and Becky against Kiana James and Tiffany Stratton. Now the two who are partners, now they're going to be facing each other. So, but here's the problem, Fletch. Becky's got to get through Tegan Nox before she has to worry about Lyra Valkyria. So
yes, she does.
So we'll see we're going to find out come Monday night if Becky will still walk into Halloween Havoc as the NXT Women's Champion, or if it'll be Tegan Nox that'll be the one that ends up facing Lyra Valkyria. We'll see what happens. So nothing more to say. It's yours, Fletch.
Yeah, no, this was a solid match. This was a solid battle, and like you said, Lau Valkyria gets the shot at the title, and all of a sudden, are we looking at the next NXT Women's Champion? Because we know what Anthony said is that they gotta find the right one, that whoever knocks off Becky, that it's gonna defy a woman's career. Somebody's career is gonna be made. Now, we've been taught, I know Anthony Flair's been saying that it should be Lau Valkyria. And now more than ever, this might be the moment. Halloween Havoc, because I do believe Becky Lynch will go over Tegan Nox, but there has been rumors about maybe Tegan going over and taking the belt, and that would open the door. So we don't know. Whatever the case may be, I think Becky might be I think her days as NXT Women's Champion might be coming to a very close end very soon. If it's not from Tegan, it's very possible that title could be going to Laura at Halloween Havoc. So I hope Becky Lynch fans enjoys the ride, because I kind of feel like possibly by the end of the month she will no longer be the NXT Women's Champion. Just my personal thoughts alone. Anthony, it's yours.
Since her call up to the main roster, Indy Hartwell has been given no opportunities. It was nice to see her work a lengthy match again, especially with top talent who could push her like the Valkyrie and Roxanne Perez. It's a shame she was brought in just to take the fall, though. While Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria is probably the biggest money match of the three options, it's a story that could have been told at any time. Roxanne Perez and Kiana James continue their feud that will likely go into Deadline in December, when both can compete in the Iron Survivor Challenge. So a couple things to I know we don't have enough time for me to go through my usual bullet points like I had been doing for so many times, but there are a couple. Becky Lynch joined the commentary team and explained why she wanted to fight everyone in this match. But there's one other bullet point. Kiana James said she wanted to be seen as a bigger star than Roxanne Perez. And she also revealed that she had made a deal where the prodigy, Roxanne Perez, next Tuesday night on NXT, will go one-on-one with the Empress of Tomorrow herself, Asuka. What? Are you kidding me? Roxanne Perez and Asuka Tuesday night? Woo-wee. Oh, is that going to be something else? So, but wait, there's more. Oh, there's more. And we're going to get into that in a little bit. Wait till next Tuesday night. That's all I'm going to say. So, this was 3 1/4, 3.5 stars. One of the fights of the night for sure. The right girl won, and I agree with MF. I think Becky will go over Tegan, but let's be realistic. Tegan's going to give Becky everything she can handle and then some. And then once she gets by that, I think Becky will just escape Tegan Knox, and then from there we'll get the big money match: Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria. And I would love to see Lyra Valkyria win the title because you guys know how high I am on her, and to have her do it if she beats Becky Lynch at Halloween Havoc on night 1 of Halloween Havoc on October 24, oh, star-making moment. That's it. That's it. That will forever be the biggest win of Lyra Valkyria's career. Even if she makes it to the main roster, nothing will be even bigger than that. So, enough said. 3 1/4, 3.5. MF, let's move on.
Yep. So, with that said, we do indeed move on. And the next thing that we did have on the show here was a one-on-one matchup, as it was Gigi Dolan versus Blair Davenport. And Gigi Dolan wins the match in 3 minutes and 48 seconds. Not really much to talk about here. It was a fine matchup. I'm not gonna waste too much time here. So, like I said, we got a lot to talk about tonight. So I say maybe a couple stars. And Anthony, it's yours.
This was a Tony and Mikey special, if you really think about it, MF, because I love me some Gigi Dolan. We all know how much you love Blair Davenport. So
yeah.
So you got what you wanted in this one. It was fine. Davenport and Dolan don't have much chemistry, but they worked hard to sell their heat. However, a roll-up win does not help that focus, as nothing was settled in a match with no stakes. Hopefully the two can do more in a rematch with a clear stipulation. Let them brawl rather than just wrestle. Dolan's win could push her forward, but it undermines the attempt to build Davenport. Neither look like a serious title contender at the moment. They need to work on that. 2 stars, Bullet, quick thought.
Yeah, 2 stars for me. I mean, definitely way too short for this, but yeah, definitely a big win for Gigi Dolan. So yeah, there's nothing more to say. Let's move on, Fletch.
Then we had the first match of the women's breakout tournament, as it was Kalani Jordan going up against Izzy Dame, and it was Kalani Jordan. She advances to the semifinals, 4 minutes and 52 seconds. I believe this goes to what?
Goes to me.
All right, Anthony, it's yours.
2 1/4, 2.5. Izzy Dame got all the offense in this match, even though it was obvious that Kalani Jordan would advance. The relatively unknown competitor had a fairly basic offensive arsenal, but she showed enough to get more TV time. Kalani Jordan is clearly the outright favorite in this tournament. She has already competed at a pay-per-view and had plenty of TV time. Even without Dana Brooke, she is over with the fans. Hopefully NXT can throw in some surprises to make this tournament a little more unpredictable. So 2 1/4, 2.5, and Michael Bullock, Kalani Jordan, the first to advance in the 2023 Women's Breakout Tournament.
Yeah, this was no surprise. 2 1/4, 2.5. I agree. I mean, I think she is the favorite to win this. Now, whether she actually wins it or not, that remains to be seen. So, nothing more to say. It's yours, Sledge.
Next up, we had was Thea Hale and JC Jane. They went up against Lola Vice and Electra Lopez, and it was Thea Hale and JC Jane winning the match in 4 minutes and 10 seconds. So, Michael Bullock, it's yours.
1.5 stars is my rating on it. I mean, another short match. I mean, but I think this new attitude for Thea Hale is definitely working for her, and pairing her with JC Jane I think is going to do wonders for her. I mean, no longer being part of Chase U, and I think this is going to be a girl with a mean attitude now. So there's nothing more to say. It's yours, Sledge.
Yeah, and I like the partnership of JC Jane and Thea Hale. I think it's gonna work. So yeah, there's really nothing more to say there. About 2.5 stars. Anthony, it's yours.
2.5 stars. NXT had done a good job of protecting Electra Lopez and Lola Vice up to this point. So it is surprising that they lost, especially during the women's breakout tournament. Lola Vice did not take the loss herself, at least, but she will have more to prove on her own after a recent loss to Roxanne Perez as well. Thea Hale and JC Jane are working decently together in the ring, but they still need to find cohesion as a unit. They are working as individuals so far. That can come, especially given Jane's best run was with Gigi Dolan, though NXT will need to give them more than 4 minutes in the future. Another 2.25, 2.5 stars. And MF, let's continue on.
Well,
main event time. High stakes.
Well, before we get into the main event.
Oh yes.
Let's start dropping bombs right about now.
Let's go.
So obviously you heard about the big announcement about how Kiana James was like, you know what? We're gonna bring Asuka to the party because I hired her to go after Roxanne Perez. So what did they get? Oh man, wait a minute. Asuka on NXT? This is great. This is amazing. All right. So this is cool. Oh no. Then we hear that, all right, there's going to be a singles match. Braun Breaker versus Carmelo Hayes. That's going to be one-on-one. That's going down next week. Fine. So during one of the backstage things, Carmelo Hayes is cutting a promo, is just talking, and he's like, you know what? I got a call from a certain someone, and he gave me some advice. Some I didn't want to hear, and some that I did want to hear. And we're like, I wonder who he's talking about. Bobby Lashley? Oh no. That person he's talking about was none other than the 16-time world champion, not Ric Flair. It's John Cena. So John Cena is going to be at NXT. What? Oh no.
Are you kidding me?
Oh no. We're not done yet. So then.
Oh, there's more, folks.
So then we get Paul Heyman. And Heyman's like, you know what? I heard that John Cena is going to be here and everything else. And then, on the behalf of the tribal chief Roman Reigns. Now, at this moment, I'm like, no, Roman NXT? You gotta be kidding me. This would be insane. No, he's saying he wanted bloodline representation, and therefore, Roman Reigns has selected Paul Heyman to go to NXT and to be not just the helper, but to be on the side of Braun Breaker for his match against Carmelo Hayes. So, Asuka, Becky Lynch, John Cena, Paul Heyman, and then another bomb got dropped. The American Nightmare Cody Rhodes is going to be on NXT next week with a major announcement. And I think I know what that announcement is. I think the Dusty Cup is coming back. Now, we all know it's been maybe a couple of years since they done the Dusty Cup. It's been a minute since they done the Dusty Cup, and I believe now I don't know if it's going to be, because I think it's always the Dusty Tag Team Classic is what they normally do, and the winner of that tournament gets a shot at the NXT Tag Team titles. But what I would prefer, and just me personally, I would like to see a singles Dusty Cup where the winner doesn't not get a shot at the NXT title. But if I was to run it, I would say you get the choice of any championship in WWE. That means you can go after the NXT title, you can go after the World Heavyweight Championship, or the undisputed WWE Universal title. You should have the right to fight for that cup. You want to make the Dusty Cup prestigious? That would be my call on that. Now we go to the main event of the evening. So it was Dominic Mysterio versus Trick Williams, and it was for the North American title. The winner of the bout in 10 minutes and 20 seconds, and new NXT North American champion Dominic Mysterio gets the belt back. He wins the title. He is now a two-time North American champion. Oh, all right. Good fight. Great match. Solid battle. I don't understand why you would do that to Trick Williams. I mean, it was a mess. Obviously, Judgment Day was involved. That's the thing. The Judgment Day can't fight their own battles on their own. They needed the interference. They need to play that devil's advocate and spoil the moment for Trick Williams. Trick Williams, maybe on the collision course with Carmelo Hayes, but now the title's out of the picture. So what? Is it just a simple one-on-one? I mean, I don't understand why you would do that. And on top of that, you literally made Trick Williams a transitional champion for no goddamn reason. So I know you were very angry about what happened yesterday. I know Anthony Floyd was more upset about the fact that everybody's booing Roxanne Perez. This is the biggest injustice right here. How on earth do you explain why does this happen? For at least in my opinion. But it is what it is. Dominic is the champion again. Anthony Florio, it's yours.
3 to 3.25 stars. While it took Dirty Dom controlling the action much more, this was significantly better than their No Mercy match in terms of pure in-ring action. The two looked much smoother working together last night. That does come with the caveat that this match had way too many people involved in the end. It took the full Judgment Day effort to save Dirty Dom and help him regain the title. MF, you are absolutely right. It feels damn wrong to move away from Trick Williams this fast. The Judgment Day has enough going on at the moment, and Dominic could have gone after maybe the United States Heavyweight Championship or backed up Finn Balor and Damian Priest in tag team action, out of the Freebird rule. Maybe he could have done that for a while. Whatever the plan is going forward, the goal must be to keep Trick hot because he may be the most over wrestler in NXT. You're absolutely right, MF. The fans booing Roxanne Perez were one thing, but this, I can't defend this. I am not going to defend this. I mean, Shawn Michaels and the NXT creative team or whoever's on that creative team, you ought to be ashamed of yourselves. Seriously. Who did Trick piss off to get this treatment? You damn near buried the guy, for goodness sakes. Absolutely disgusting, as far as I'm concerned. And now this little turd is once again the North American champion. Dumb. Ugh. I mean, you guys know I'm all for unpredictability. I am. But this is one of those rare times where I was not. I rather would have had the predictable champion successfully defends in the rematch. I would have been damn okay with that. But Trick got done. He got done dirty, man. I smell dirty pool. That's all there is to it. It's dirty pool. That's all there is to it. So, and he was out and he told Carmelo Hayes to, I want to do it on my own. And yeah, big mistake, pal. You were damn near in a 5-on-1 handicap match, for goodness sakes. And that's what it was. Dominic didn't win the title by Dominic Mysterio should cut that belt in at least 1/5 and give it to each member. Give a bit of it to Mommy, give a bit of it to Finn, give a bit of it to Senor Money in the Bank, and even give a little bit to the JD McDonough. So, as far as I'm concerned, he's not the North American champion. They're all the North American champion, as far as I'm concerned, because they're the ones who won the match for him. He didn't win it by himself. They won it for him. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. So, creative team, yeah. You got some splaining to do. Shame on you. You deserve this tongue lashing. You deserve the tongue lashing I just gave you. So, I'm not going to go any further into this. So, there's not much more for me to say except, Michael Bullock, you better take it before I go 97 Bret Hart, and you do not want that.
Oh, you want to talk about going 97 Bret Hart? I'm going the Undertaker mode. I'm about to get my shovel. I'm going to bury somebody's ass 6 feet under for this. Total injustice. First off, 3 1/4. I agree, but Shawn Michaels and the creative team at NXT. What in the blue hell were you thinking? Trick Williams got his moment as he finally won a championship on his own. And there it is 3 days later, and you had him drop the belt. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. It makes me sick to my damn stomach, and I'm not going to sit here and stand for this. Yeah, dum-dum, you proved your point. You can't win anything on your own. You had to have all members of the Judgment Day. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Mommy Rhea Ripley. I'm talking to you, Finn Balor. I'm talking to you, Damian Priest. And I'm talking to you, JD McDonough. All 5 of you should be ashamed of yourselves. But then again, you guys play by your own rules, and I think your rules suck. It absolutely sucks ass. But what sucks ass more is Trick Williams. I mean, Trick Williams was robbed. I mean, you just made him a transitional champion, a paper champion. It's almost like the win never really happened. Somebody over at NXT, you better explain yourselves to us why you did this, because what you did made absolutely no. And I'm sorry I'm about to say this, but this is just how pissed off I am at this. It makes no fucking sense. It doesn't make any fucking sense. I'm sorry. I just had to drop it because that's just how pissed off I am. Yeah. What else is there? I mean, is Vince McMahon somewhere hiding in the back there, and he was the one that came up with this? I don't know. It just blows my mind. I mean, what a way to. You want to talk about sending the crowd home unhappy? This was the total definition of it. Shame on you, Shawn Michaels. Shame on you people in NXT. And most importantly, shame on you, WWE, for screwing Trick Williams out of this. He deserves way better than this. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Screwing Trick Williams out of his damn moment. Give me a fucking break. I'm done. I'm finished with this, Fletch. Please take it before I really go off the deep end here.
MF, are you there? Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say that I do apologize for Michael Bullock's outburst. That was not expected.
I'm
just
sorry,
to say
folks.
the very least.
I'm sorry, folks.
So.
I'm sorry, Fletch, but I was just so pissed off with this. I just couldn't.
You got to reel it in, Bullock. That's all I'm just saying. I don't need that. So that's all I'm just saying.
Yeah, like I said, I'm sorry, Fletch, but I just couldn't hold it back anymore. I just had to go there. I know this is not me. This is not who I am, but this was just the total definition of an injustice that I just...
Caught up in the moment.
Yeah,
it just hurts me.
There's a right way of handling the situation, and there's a wrong way of handling the situation. You handled it wrong. That's all I'm just saying. So, nothing more to say on that. Basically, let's go into the recap for the show. I believe, Anthony, you have it. So, I mean, this show was wild. Next week, oh my God, are we talking a possible all-timer for NXT?
And there's a reason for that.
Oh, yeah. We'll get into it.
Indeed, we will. Let's just say we're going to renew the war. The war that the old Wednesday night war that we had from 2019 up until about sometime in 20 or 21. But anyways, NXT was decidedly ordinary last night after over-delivering with No Mercy. The matches were solid, but not standouts. And the promos kept momentum, focused on the future, but were mostly forgettable. With big names hurting, NXT had a chance to highlight other stars, but it was one of the lightest weeks in terms of overall roster representation. It almost felt more like an episode of SmackDown. This may be intentional, as WWE was trying to hook a particular audience for next week's show, going head-to-head with AEW Dynamite. Rather than establishing big matches for NXT stars, the company focused on outside names from Raw and SmackDown. This may win the week, but it is not the sustainable focus that has made NXT a better product as of late. The goal should still be to highlight the bevy of rising stars in WWE's developmental program. On the positive side, this show was packed with female stars. The division took up a good half of the show, as Becky Lynch stands at the head of the division. NXT is making a more concerted effort to highlight the many names who can challenge her. The drama of Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams is also exciting. They are the most charismatic acts on the roster, and whether they go together or against each other, it will be a highlight of the program. But don't forget, though, next week, I mean, star-studded show. You got Asuka coming in against Roxanne Perez. John Cena to be in the corner of Carmelo Hayes. You got Paul Heyman going to be in the corner of Braun Breaker. And then you got Cody Rhodes coming to make a major announcement. And MF, now that you mentioned that about the Dusty stuff, I would not be at all surprised if that is indeed the announcement. So I'll be shocked if it's anything other than that. But, you know, well, that's really up to MF Bullock. I have no say in that. But if it was up to me, I mean, I don't know. But we'll see about it. But I don't think it'll come to that, but we'll see. But anywho, I'll probably give this somewhere between maybe 6.5, I think, because we did have a lot of short fights. We did have a couple of standout moments. I mean, the women's triple threat, the main event, and then the opening tag match. So now we lost MF. But maybe MF's connection dropped on him or something. I don't know. All right, we got MF back, so Yep. So this was about a 6.5. So Michael Bullock, if you've cooled down from your little outburst there, let's get your thoughts on last night's show. And I agree with you. I mean, the way it ended left a bad taste in all of our mouths, especially yours.
Especially since it's my show, so yeah, 6.5. I agree. I mean, there were just so many short matches. I mean, yes, we had some surprises, but the short matches I think really took away from it. So nothing more to say. It's your Sledge.
And for the record, no, you're not getting tossed out, Bullock, for your outburst. Yeah, 6.5. You guys made all the points. We're all set. Let's go into AEW. Let's go into AEW, the anniversary show, the anniversary edition of AEW Dynamite, and we started it off as it was from California. It was from Stockton, California, at the Stockton Arena, and we started it off with Rey Fénix versus Nick Jackson for the International Championship. And it was Rey Fénix winning the match in 13:25. Solid opener, very good. Look, on paper and everything else, it was going to deliver, and it did, and then some. Great matchup. Solid 3.5-star fight. Anthony, it's yours.
3.5, 3.75 of a star for me. There were a ton of moves, some clever and athletic transitions and counters, but little substance right up until Rey Fénix scored the win and retained the International Championship in a hard-fought bout. There are some who will take exception to that summary, claiming it to be some modern classic. But the best part of wrestling is that there are opinions of and preferences for all sorts of styles. It was an energetic opener with the right pace to get the fans into the show. Nothing more, nothing less. The right guy went over, though, so there is that, even if he appeared to be noticeably slowed at times by what appears to be a hip injury. This was about 3.5, teetering on 3.75 of a star. Even if they're in singles matches, we're still talking about the Lucha Bros and the Young Bucks, who have given us some of the greatest matches. I mean, who will ever forget AEW All Out 2021, that legendary cage match they had, when the Lucha Bros finally got their moment and became the AEW World Tag Team Champions. So, we'll wait and see what happens, but no rest for the weary for Rey Fénix, because now Jon Moxley is invoking his rematch clause, boys. And Tuesday night, on that big Tuesday night Dynamite that's going to be going head-to-head with NXT, Rey Fénix, Jon Moxley, the rematch. The rematch from Dynamite, Grand Slam, where Rey Fénix shocked the world and won the title. And it was because Jon Moxley was injured during that match. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. Do they do the unthinkable and put Fénix over again? Or are they going to give the belt back to Mox? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But a great opener here. 3.5, 3.75. So Michael Bullock, Nick Jackson was one thing, but now Moxley's invoking his rematch clause. He wants his title back. Good luck, Ray.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a tough task for Rey Fénix when he's going to have to win back. Defend the title against the man who wants his title back, and Jon Moxley. So that's going to be a tough one. So 3.5 stars. Solid match here. But then again, when you got Rey Fénix and Nick Jackson in there, you know it's going to be something good. So nothing more to say. Let's move on, Fletch.
Wardlow versus Griff Garrison. Wardlow wins in a minute. Don't need to talk about that. Next thing we had was a trios title fight, as it was Billy Gunn and The Acclaim. They went up against the Butchers, the Blade, and Kip Sabian. It was The Acclaim and Billy Gunn winning in 6 minutes and 5 seconds. Anthony, it's yours.
2.5 to 2.75. The Acclaim scored the hard-fought win over Kip Sabian, the Butcher, and the Blade in a match that may have been better received had the challengers been built up on any episode of Dynamite or Collision of late. As it was, this was more of an extended squash, as the champions picked up a win and advanced to whatever is next for them in a division that currently lacks credible threats to their titles. 2.5, 2 3/4. Nothing more to say except Michael Bullock, the Acclaimed, and Daddy Ass still the AEW Trios champions. You know what that means? Scissor me, Michael Bullock.
Oh yes, I scissor you, Florio.
Oh dear Lord.
Oh man, I knew Fletch was gonna have a reaction the moment we did that. But
we needed some comic relief. I did that for comic relief after the little moment there.
After I think I needed that after that tirade I went on, which, like I said, I do apologize again for that. So 2.5 stars. The outcome was never in doubt. So nothing more to say. It's yours, Fletch.
All right. I can't believe I just heard that. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, solid match. I'll say about 2.5. I'll move on, and we'll move on from that. Then after that, then we had, Bullet Club Gold coming out, and the next thing you know, they decided that they were gonna do that they were gonna call out Maxwell Jacob Freeman. It led to a beatdown, and then because Jay White showed up, and there's been enough ranting up to this point, so I'm not going there. But then Jay White commandeered and stole the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. And if it wasn't for Michael Bullock to go on that rant, I'd probably be flipping out right about now. So, he took the AEW title, called for a fight at Full Gear in LA. Maxwell Jacob Freeman agreed, say, all right, you're on. And so we got our main event for Full Gear, as it will be for the AEW World title, as it will be, as the title will be on the line, as it will be Jay White, the Switchblade Jay White, versus Maxwell Jacob Freeman, MJF. So we got really nothing more to add on that. Anthony Florio.
I'll say this, Fletch. Just for my sake, I don't like MJF, but for goodness sakes, I want to see MJF beat Jay White, because, as like you just said, nobody on this earth hates Jay White more than good old MF Michael Fletcher, and I really want to see MJF beat the snot out of this arrogant. Well, you know what?
I got a sick feeling that they're gonna put this belt on Jay White. I really do. Oh man,
if that happens,
not necessarily.
Because
possession, key word, possession is 9/10 of the law. And
understandable.
How many times in the past, guys, have we seen someone steal a title that didn't belong to them, and then we had a title match, champion wins? That's exactly what they're setting it up for.
Well, granted, but here's the problem. You got Roderick Strong. You got the Kingdom.
Oh, yeah.
You know they're working in cahoots. Then on top of that, you got Bullet Club Gold. True. So you don't think for one damn second that they're not going to try to do anything in their power to have Jay White walk out with this belt? Now, I understand about the storybook logic. If MJF should overcome all this and successfully defend, props to MJF. Props to Maxwell Jacob Freeman.
1 year.
Yeah.
It'll put him right at 1 year, because remember, it was Full Gear last year when he won the AEW title from Jon Moxley thanks to William Regal.
So he would be a 1-year champion, yes.
Yep.
So we'll see.
And he would actually have the longest reign of any AEW World Heavyweight Champion up until now. Mm-hmm. Because remember, the current holder of the record is Kenny Omega. I mean, he had it for 346 days. Max is approaching that. I'll get the exact number in just a moment, but I didn't mean to interrupt you there, MF. But but I had to, I wanted to, as you would say, reel it in, even though it's your show tonight. But hey, from the heel commentator perspective, MF, I mean, you and I would have a lot of fun with this. You would go ultimate gorilla. I would go ultimate Jesse on this, and I would say, get a look at that, Fletcher. That's your future right there. That's your future champion. And I'd say, right there, that's a champion that we all can be proud of. And he'd be like, oh, please.
I probably would more than just say, oh, please. That's all I'm just going to say on that.
Yeah, you would throw in some expletives on that one.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just, that gets me. Oh boy. But mission accomplished on my end. So, all right, just give me a minute here while I calm down for a minute before I go on a laugh riot here. Oh, that was great. All right. AEW World Champion MJF and whatever he is involved in continue to be the best thing on the show with a segment that advanced his feud with Switchblade Jay White. And my thing went refreshed on me. I don't know why. All right. What started as back and forth between MJF, Juice Robinson, and the Guns intensified with a sneak attack by Jay White on the Devil that left him laying. White issued a challenge for the world title. MJF accepted. And AEW suddenly had in place the main event for Full Gear on Saturday night, November the 18th, from the Kia Forum, formerly the Great Western Forum, Inglewood, LA, the old home of the Lakers and the Kings. This was a short, sweet, red-hot segment that continued MJF's improbable run as the top babyface in AEW and further intensified a feud with Jay White that had fans salivating upon its origin a week ago. The build to Full Gear suddenly got more fun. So, my gut tells me MJF is going to somehow find a way to successfully defend. But, my God, you thought Michael Bullock was upset about Dominic Mysterio regaining the North American Championship in NXT? God forbid, when we do the Full Gear recap show, whenever we do it, God forbid if Jay White becomes the AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Oh, get ready for the mother of all Cerebral Viper rants. He ain't going to be Gorilla MF Michael Fletcher. Oh, no. You're going to get the Cerebral Viper, and you do not want the Cerebral Viper mode. Because you thought Bullock unleashed hell? MF will unleash hell and then some. God forbid if Jay White wins the title. And MF, am I gonna have fun with it too? Trust me. So, the future. Oh my goodness, my sides are aching just thinking about the awesomeness to come. So,
my best advice to you, Florio, if you decide to do that, well, my best advice to you, I say don't do it, because there's an old saying, you don't want to add fuel to the fire, especially when good old MF has a big-time hatred for Jay White.
We'll be like Gorilla and Bobby. We'll be like Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby Heenan
near the end of. Will you stop?
He'll throw in some "Will you stop?" Some "Will you be serious?" and all that. Oh yeah, this will be more Gorilla and Bobby than Gorilla and Jesse. Although I'll throw some Jesse in there with the ha ha and all that. So. All right. So with that being said, a great segment here. Not really. Well, actually, this is the second best segment of the night. There was actually another segment that was even better than this, believe it or not. So wait till you hear what we have to say about that. Wait till you hear what happened during that. So nothing more to say except MF, tag team action, the rivalry with Jericho, Omega, and the Don Callis family wrote another chapter, but unfortunately, we had to have a replacement come in.
Yeah. Originally, it was supposed to have been Will Ospreay and Konosuke Takeshita. However, Ospreay was not available off the list.
Sammy Guevara, actually.
Actually, Sammy Guevara. So I'm wondering if it's because of Ty. Did she have her baby? We might need to check that, guys. If Ty Mello might have had her baby girl, maybe that's what happened. That's why probably the Spanish God was off the show. We haven't heard anything yet, so we don't know. This might be just a hearsay, but I do know that she was pretty close. Maybe it happened. I don't know. So, whatever the case may be, we did have was Kyle Fletcher of the Aussie Open and Konosuke Takeshita going up against Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega. And when it was all said and done, the winners of the bout in 15 minutes and 15 seconds was Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega. And I believe it goes to Michael Bullock. So, Bullock, it's all yours, man.
What was the time of the poll?
15-15.
All right. I'll give this about maybe 3.5, 3 3/4. I mean, this was a great match here. I mean, but yeah, afterwards, Powerhouse Hobbs comes out and basically destroys both Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho, and that little weasel known as Don Callis. I mean, he had to tape Kenny Omega's arms, and then instead of Powerhouse Hobbs using the chair, Don Callis decided to use it and hit Omega in the head with it. Let me tell you something, Don Callis. You hit like a freaking girl. That's what you are with that when it comes to that steel chair. I mean, the three of us, we could swing harder than what you did. So
I think it was better that he didn't do it, because I think everybody would have been up in arms and really pissed off if he would have gone full force. I think it was better that he didn't hit him as hard as he did and do what he did, because unprotected chair shots are absolutely should be outlawed in professional wrestling. Straight up. So I'm glad that Don Callis didn't hit him with full force, because if he did, oh, you would have had me really riled up. So no, I'm actually.
Don Callis would have been.
Oh no, Callis would have been dead. Callis would have been destroyed by me. I would absolutely would have gone full Michael Bullock and earlier tonight. As you went off on the deep end about Dominic Mysterio and the Judgment Day, I would have gone right off on Don Callis. I would have gone the same level.
Because he's such a weasel.
Yeah.
And that's just playing it nicely. So
yeah.
I could have said other things, but no. 3.5 stars, it's yours, Fletch. I mean, and the other thing is, I mean, can you imagine now Powerhouse Hobbs with Konosuke Takeshita and Sammy Guevara?
He basically joined he's an unofficial member of that family now. He just joined. I kind of feel like he just joined the Don Callis family. And if he did, that's another weapon for Don Callis to have. He's quietly putting quite a squad right before our very eyes, ladies and gentlemen. So I mean, yeah, you got Konosuke Takeshita, you got Sammy Guevara, Powerhouse Hobbs. You kind of do have Aussie Open in his stable, and you got Will Ospreay, who's probably the best of the entire crew. So, I mean, Don Callis is creating quite a stable for himself in AEW, man. So, yeah, I got really nothing more to say. I think the only other person who's got quite a stable for himself is Prince Nana and the Global Embassy. And yes, I was digging it. I'm jiving it. I was feeling the Prince Nana dance that he was doing at Wrestle Dream on Sunday. And so was the fans of Seattle. They were getting into it. Nana's over now, folks. Like it or not, Prince Nana has gotten over on himself because of his shenanigans And quite frankly, I'm for it and I'm here for it. Floyo, it's yours.
For the record, Ty Mello has not had her baby yet.
Okay.
So we can rule that out. For the reason why Sammy Guevara was not on the show tonight. Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega won a battle in the war with the Don Callis family by defeating Kyle Fletcher and Konosuke Takeshita in a damn good tag team match, only to see their momentum halted immediately thereafter by Powerhouse Hobbs, who was revealed as the latest member of the Don Callis family. The heels laid out Jericho and Omega and stood tall to close out a segment that propels things forward and creates questions about how Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho can adequately combat a guy who seemingly has young stars coming out of the woodwork to align themselves with him. If the feud is booked as strongly as this was, and the matches continue to be as good as what we saw here, there will be plenty to like about it. This, to me, was the fight of the night. I'm giving this a solid 4 stars for the effort, so there isn't much more to say except MF. We move on to some women's action, including the debut of a new character for our former AEW Women's Champion.
Yeah, it is Sky Blue going one-on-one with now being referred as the Timeless Toni Storm. Toni Storm winning the match in 6 minutes and 55 seconds. This was very interesting, I'll say that. Obviously, Toni needed to win the match. You give her the momentum more than anything else. There's really nothing more to say there. So, Anthony, it's yours.
Yeah, 2.5 stars. Competitive match, despite the outcome never really being in question. Toni Storm was great here, showcasing the body language, facial language, and verbal skills that have helped make this new character the revelation that it is. Sky Blue, conversely, was equally as strong, continuing to highlight why she may very well be the future face of the women's division someday. 2.5, 2 3/4. That's the best I can go. So, Michael Bullock, quick thought before we get into, oh my goodness, that unforgettable main event segment.
Yeah, 2.5 stars is my rating. I mean, yeah, very interesting with this new character for Toni Storm. I'm interested to see how this goes. So, yeah, there's really nothing more to say except let's get into that main event segment.
Main event segment with Adam Copeland. He calls out Christian Cage, begging and wanting to reunite as a tag team in AEW. And, well, it did not go according to plan. It did blow up in the face. Christian with a not so PG retort towards Adam Copeland, and then basically told him that you got to fight now. You're going to have a match against him at that there'll be a match against them at that he's got to fight Luchasaurus on Tuesday. So Luchasaurus versus Adam Copeland and Anthony Florio. Oh my word, what an explosion that turned out to be.
Segment of the night, no doubt about it. Even though that MJF and Bullet Club segment was just as good, but this was just a smidgen better. Rated R superstar Adam Copeland hit the ring for the show closing promo, and after excitedly letting the fans know about some of the extraordinary first-time matches that await both of them, he called out Christian Cage. The TNT champion joined him, listened to his pitch for a reunion tour through the AEW tag team division, and kindly told him to go do something unsavory with himself, or something like that. He then introduced Luchasaurus and Nick Wayne, who joined Christian Cage in staring down Adam Copeland to end the show. This was a really strong segment that built on the excitement of Copeland's debut, laid out the story at play, built on the established history between him and Cage, and informed the fans that the long-awaited comeback from the artist formerly known as Edge and Christian will not be happening anytime soon. Copeland was great, a newcomer full of energy and clearly happy to be there. Christian was the same smarmy villain he has always been. The idea of them matching up at this point in their careers may not be exciting to some, but for those who have followed both men to their previous destinations, the idea that they might create more magic in AEW is appealing, and this was the perfect teaser. segment of the night. There is no question about it, but think about these matches. I mean, Copeland ran down the number of first-time matches he can have with the likes of Jon Moxley, Kenny Omega, Miro, Powerhouse Hobbs, Jay White, Juice Robinson, and more. So there isn't much more to say on this segment of the night, no doubt about it. Michael Bullock and, well, Bullock, I mean, it didn't take him long. His first words in AEW, and well, let's just say he brought his angry side with him, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink.
You expect anything less when it comes to Adam Copeland, aka Edge? I think not.
Which Edge will always be the best Edge, Bullock. You know it.
Yeah, Angry Edge is always the best one, and he tried to use that on Christian Cage, but the problem is, Adam, it basically went on deaf ears because Christian, being that snarky, disgusting heel that he is, and and he basically told him, "Go F yourself." I'm like thinking, whoa, did he just say that on if we had that the Mimi Jean, remember that guys back then? If we had that, we would be saying Christian Cage saying go F yourself on TV. That's not PG.
That's not PG.
AEW isn't PG anyway.
No, it's not.
Oh, I know, but man, whoever was quick with that censor button, good job.
He was smart, yeah.
Yeah, because if that got out, I think AEW would have been in big trouble.
The FCC would have been having strokes and ducks, if you know what I mean.
Oh my God, strokes and ducks is not even the key word on that one. But the thing is, on cable TV, you're allowed to get away with a little more. You're allowed to get away with a little more, but you're not allowed to get the F-bomb in. You say an F-bomb, you're done. They're done for.
Yeah, AEW would be in big trouble.
Oh,
if,
yeah.
That had happened. But Christian Cage saying, "Oh, by the way, Adam, you got a match on Tuesday against a man who I like to call my real best friend, Luchasaurus." And you know Luchasaurus isn't going to come alone on Tuesday. Christian will be by his side, but also that Benedict Arnold known as Nick Wayne. So it's going to have the feel of a 3-on-1 handicap match. Because don't think for a second, boys, that Christian and Nick Wayne are going to have a say in this match. So we'll see what happens. So great way to close the show. So overall thoughts time, Fletch.
Yeah. Okay. Look, I'm just gonna say it like this. I think it's gonna be a very good match, to say the very least. I just don't know how it's gonna play out. I'll say this is about maybe 6, 7 out of 10. So I'll go with that. And Anthony Floyd, what's yours?
Give me a moment here. All right. There was a lot to love about this episode of Dynamite. The aforementioned angle between Adam Copeland and Christian Cage at the close of the show was fantastic, as was the stuff with MJF, Jay White, and Bullet Club Gold. Throw in some superb Tony Storm work, as well as the quality surprise in Powerhouse Hobbs joining the Don Callis family. And you have a little bit for everyone to sink their teeth into. The match between Ray Phoenix and Nick Jackson did not hit quite like some hoped it would, and the Acclaim feels so cold right now in comparison to where they were. But those are minor gripes on a 2-hour show that was more good than bad. And next week, well, my rating for this was about 7. It was about 7 to 7.5. But next week we got Adam Copeland. Adam Copeland's going to make his in-ring debut. He's going to wrestle his first match in AEW when he squares off against Luchasaurus. Chris Jericho will go one-on-one with Powerhouse Hobbs. Saraya will defend the AEW Women's Championship against Hikaru Shida. Hangman Adam Page goes one-on-one with Switchblade Jay White. And then in the number 1 contenders match for the TNT Championship, Swerve Strickland goes one-on-one with Bryan Danielson. And let's also not forget, we also have an international championship match with Ray Phoenix and Jon Moxley on top of that. So they call it Title Tuesday, but they made it 2 title matches. I would have liked to have seen a few more, but you know, it is what it is. So 7.5. Bullock take it home for this, and then we'll quickly preview Bears and Commanders tomorrow night.
Yeah, 7 for me when it comes to this. I mean, it was good. I mean, it definitely could have been better in some spots, but you know, it is what it is. So nothing more to say. Let's get into our preview of Thursday Night Football with the Chicago Bears and the Washington Commanders on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, this is like Michael Bullock alluded to. It is going to be on Amazon Prime. You already know who's going to do it, guys. Al Michaels, Curve Street, and Kaylee Hartung doing the game. This is, I have to say it, this is, you could even make an argument that this is the Zonk game of the week. I mean, I'm not excited for this matchup. Anthony Floyo's not excited for this matchup. We have to do it because we are obligated to. But honestly, Washington is a 6-point favorite. The over-under is at 44.5. And it is going to be and the game will be from FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Of course, on Amazon Prime Video. For all you internet geeks out there, as some people like to call us renegades, that doesn't want to spend the $15 freaking you dumbasses pay for for Amazon Prime. Go on Twitch. You get to see it for free. So that's the case on that. If you want to know who I want to think who's going to win, Washington Commanders. I got no faith in the Chicago Bears. Even though they played a really good game, they should have beaten the Denver Broncos. And they let Denver come back and steal the game. Look, I got nothing good to say about this matchup. This is going to be a dumpster fire and then some. I'm not even wasting my time on this game anyway. So, Washington Commanders win. Florio, we're just doing this because this is obligatory. We have to do this. But I feel so sorry for the viewers that needs to watch this garbage tomorrow.
And for good reason, MF. I know exactly why you feel that way. You haven't forgotten about last year, have you?
No.
Okay. So I'm just going to leave it at that before he goes to Evil Viper mode. But nonetheless, yes, my spread's a little bit different. You have 6.5. I have 5.5 on mine, but it's between 5. Let's just say it's between 5.5 to 6.5 for this game tomorrow night. MF nailed all the schematics here. The announcers and all that, FedEx Field, Landover, Maryland, of course, and all-time series history. Washington leads the all-time series 23-21 with a tie. The tie came in their very first meeting in 1932. They met, of course, we all remember last year, Thursday Night Football, one of the, if not the worst Thursday Night Football game of last season. The Washington Commanders defeated the Chicago Bears in Chicago 12-7. Last meeting in Washington was 2019. Chicago won 31-15. Washington last beat Chicago at home in 2013. 45-41 shootout there. But and for you fans out there who don't have Amazon Prime Video, and I'm only talking to Chicago and Washington D.C. here, both of you can watch this game on your respective Fox affiliates. Chicago, that's WFLD Fox 32 in Chicago. Washington D.C., your Fox affiliate, WTTG Fox Channel 5. That's in Washington D.C. So with that being said, give me a minute here. Okay. This is not a pretty game for a Thursday night, but both teams showed well last week in losses, which is progress for the Bears. The Commanders got Sam Howell back on track against Philadelphia. This is a bad Bears defense, so it will continue. The Washington defense will limit Justin Fields. Commanders win it 30-17. The Washington Commanders over the Chicago Bears. Michael Bullock, take this for a spin, and then we'll quickly get into our preview of Fastlane.
Yeah, Washington Commanders are going to win this one. I'm not going to waste any time on this garbage matchup here. I feel bad for those that are going to have to watch it, but yeah, there's really nothing more to say. Let's get into our Fastlane preview.
If you want to bypass the recap on Friday night, I'll completely understand.
Oh, please bypass the recap.
Okay. So we will not have a recap of it. I mean, maybe I, as the host, will say something about it, but I'll give like a minuscule recap of it, but we're not going to dissect it. So, all right, MF, let's get into our Fastlane preview quick, and then we can, get up on out of here.
All right, we got as of now 5 matches, but I do know that it's possibly going to be more, but we do have 5 at the moment. Starting it off with the WWE tag team titles on the line, as it is going to be the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and Damian Priest versus main event Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes. Now, all right, any other time, I would say Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso, but it's pretty obvious, it's pretty clear. The Judgment Day, that gang mentality that they have, I kind of feel like this is the moment where I think they're gonna give the big win to the Judgment Day. So give me the Judgment Day to win this and successfully defend the title. Anthony, it's yours.
Yeah. Fastlane, of course, will be live this Saturday night from the Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana, exclusively on Peacock. Of course, you know how Michael Bullock and I, how we always do it. It'll be exclusively on Peacock here in the United States, and we're outside of it, Bullock. And how does he say it?
And the WWE Network elsewhere around the world, and
traditional pay-per-view. So
that's our shtick right there.
Whether it's a Raw chat or a SmackDown chat, that's how we do it. Anyways, it feels that Cody Rhodes is biding his time somewhat before a revenge match against Roman Reigns and the chance to finish his story. But for now, Roman is on SmackDown and Cody is on Raw, where Jey Uso has recently jumped ship to get away from all things Bloodline. Of course, the Bloodline have got competition for the deadliest stable in the WWE today from the Judgment Day, who have stacked up the gold individually and collectively, and despite the odd hiccups, seem very much together. It's that length of time together, which is why I'm going to give them the nod over the new pairing of Cody and Jey. But I think I speak on behalf of all of us when I say it'll be one hell of a match. So winners and still the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions, Finn Balor and Damian Priest. But let's not completely rule it out. Bullock, don't be surprised if somehow Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso find a way here. Don't be surprised. But for right now, I'm going with the champs to retain.
Yeah, I'm going to make it unanimous here. I'm going to go with with Finn Balor and Damian Priest to retain the titles. So yeah, there's really nothing more for me to say on it. So let's move onward to our next match that we're previewing.
Yeah, and that will be a 6-man tag team fight, the LWO versus Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. So Anthony Florio, it's yours.
The LWO has had its ups and downs since the stable formed, and recently they've been on the sharp end of a Street Profits plus Bobby Lashley combo that's looking to bludgeon everything in its path. Rey Mysterio has a habit of pulling things out of the bag when it comes to pay-per-view. That's what happens if you're a generational talent with more experience than pretty much everyone, but this is not a one-on-one match. For all the righteous anger the LWO will justly be feeling after their recent altercations with the revamped Street Profits and Bobby Lashley, I think they're going to fall short again. I got Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits winning this match. Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I'm with Florio on this one. I too am going with the Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits to get a win over the LWO. So it's your switch.
I agree. It's going to be the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley, which is going to move right on along. WWE Women's title fight on the line. Io Sky putting the title on the line against Asuka and Charlotte Flair. Michael Bullock, it's yours.
This is going to be a good matchup here. I mean, Io's has been a really good champion. There's no way she's going to lose this title soon. So something's going to happen here. But either way, I think Io Sky will win and remain the WWE Women's Champion. So it's your sledge.
Ooh, I don't know, Mike. I think if there's ever a time for this belt to be taken, this might be it. Even though I do agree that Io wins it, but I would not be stunned if she does not walk out with this belt. And plus, I think it's because of Bayley. I think Bayley's overzealous or jealous nature. She put Io in this mess in the first place. So obviously, she's trying everything in her power to have this belt off her. For what reason, I don't know. But at the end of the day, I think Io will some way, somehow successfully defend it. And I think it's going to be despite despite of Bayley's trying to win this, trying to stop Io from getting this belt. So I say Io wins it, but I don't know. I got a bad feeling about this. So Anthony, it's yours.
I'm right there with you, MF. Io Sky is already a great champion, but there's a burning feeling that some more veteran talent feel that their time is far from over. And they're not going to let this relative upstart, in WWE terms at least, shunt them to one side. Sky has managed to hold her own, but it'll maybe be her biggest challenge yet after her damage control pal Bayley dropped her right in it by agreeing to put her stablemate in a triple threat match. Individually, Asuka and Charlotte Flair are forces to be reckoned with. Together, it could prove too much for Sky. Or there's every chance that Flair and Asuka will be so busy taking points off each other that Io will be there to pick up the pieces and continue her reign. So I'm going to go with Io to successfully defend the title as well. Winner and still the WWE Women's Champion, Io Sky. But don't be surprised if Charlotte and or Asuka walk out with it. So let's move on.
Next up, tag team fight, John Cena and LA Knight versus the Bloodline. Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa. And I believe it goes to, I guess I lead off on this? Yeah. So I gotta go with Cena and LA Knight. I feel like they're gonna want to give LA Knight a bigger push. They're already giving him a push, and I think he'll get the job done. Plus, you got Mr. Pay-Per-View, Mr. Big Match John. Every time he's in a big moment, he always delivers in the clutch. I know he hasn't had that many magic victories lately, but I do believe that at the end, Cena and LA Knight will win. And I do believe it'll be LA Knight getting the fall. And I think he gets it on Jimmy Uso. So, Anthony Florio, it's yours.
Yes, the Bloodline. The rump of that gang are in action against the all-star fan favorite team of John Cena and LA Knight. With the writer's strike off and actor's strike looking to near resolution, John Cena will surely be back in Hollywood sooner rather than later. But he's sticking around for now and surely until Crown Jewel next month in Saudi Arabia. LA Knight is yet to sign a new contract with the WWE, but with his current deal running into 2025, there's no reason for that to affect his short or even medium-term future. While they've barely sparked up their working relationship, we think the sheer energy, joy, and effervescence of the good guy pairing will be enough to see them through against a Bloodline that, for all its power, is surely not what it once was. So the winners of the match, John Cena and LA Knight. And I agree with MF. I think LA Knight will score the winning fall. And Michael Bullock, we all know the reason why, because everybody's saying, whose game is it? Everybody's saying L.A.
Knight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, John Cena and LA Knight are going to win this one. There's no way they're going to have them lose to the Bloodline. And I do agree. I think LA Knight is going to be the one to pick up the pinfall victory for the team here, because they're so high on LA Knight and they're really pushing him to the moon and then some. So your winners of the match will be John Cena and LA Knight. Yeah. It's yours.
All right. Main event for the World Heavyweight Championship in a last man standing match. It is Shinsuke Nakamura going one-on-one with the reigning, defending World Heavyweight Champion, Seth freaking Rollins. Oh. All right. Anthony Floyo, it is yours.
Oh, we definitely needed that. But the establishment of the World Heavyweight Championship raised a few eyebrows, with many seeing it as little more than a consolation prize. But Seth freaking Rollins has done his part of the bargain to make the relaunched title a prize worth having, shrugging off contenders and putting on banger matches in the process. He's already beaten Shinsuke Nakamura, but Nakamura is determined to not let this one get away from him. Shinsuke has revealed Seth's back injury and will be sure to target it over and over in a brutal last man standing match. And despite the smart money being on Seth continuing his reign, I think Nakamura could surprise a few people and get the late era title win his talent and longevity deserves. This is, out of all the matches on this card, I'm going to be honest, guys, this is the toughest one to call. My gut is telling me to go with Seth freaking Rollins to retain because Shinsuke, got over, a la Booking 101. But my heart is telling me to go with Shinsuke because, he has not had that big world championship moment yet. He should have had one, at least one. If not SummerSlam 2017, he most certainly should. I still to this day say he should have gone over AJ Styles at WrestleMania 34. Story for another day, but he's long overdue a World Heavyweight Championship. So I think he's a triple crowner because he's been the U.S. champion. He's been the Intercontinental champion. I think he's been a tag team champion as well. So he needs this for the Grand Slam. So I'm going to take a big chance here, and I'm going to say the winner and the new World Heavyweight Champion, Shinsuke Nakamura, because he's long overdue. But do not at all be surprised if Seth freaking Rollins walks out of Indy still the World Heavyweight Champion. I would not be surprised if Seth goes over because of the Booking 101. So Michael Bullock, I give it to you. Big question is, does Seth retain all of Booking 101 because Shin got over on a Monday Night on Raw? Or does Shinsuke finally get that world title moment that he should have had a long damn time ago? Long overdue.
Man, this is tough. I mean, I'm in the same boat. I mean, part of me wants to go with Shinsuke Nakamura, but there's another part of me wants to go with Seth freaking Rollins. So I don't know. I'm going to take a chance, and I'm going to go with Seth freaking Rollins to retain. But if Shinsuke Nakamura wins it, I would not at all be surprised. So it's your pledge.
I do know because of the fact that recently WWE made a deal with this Japanese company and that there's rumors about them working with Pro Wrestling Noah, that there might be something in the pipeline down the line. So, yes, I agree. I'm actually going with Anthony Floyo here. Winner and new World Heavyweight Champion, Shinsuke Nakamura. I think Nakamura wins the title. So that's it. We're done. Anthony Floyo, step on forward. Give us a preview of what's going down tomorrow night.
All right. Tomorrow night, 10:30, correct, MF?
That is correct.
Yep. Just want to make sure we had the correct start time. So 10:30 tomorrow night. Come join us over on my channel, The Tone 25, for the Week 6 edition of TXN Sports World College Football Thursday. There isn't anything left for me to say. We have another week of some good matchups, but MF, we know what the biggest one of them all is, and it holds a special place in your heart as well as mine. Red River, hello. Texas, Oklahoma, that's the big one. And as a matter of fact, the show's going to be a little bit ass backwards tomorrow night because the main event is starting the show tomorrow night. We're kicking off with that game tomorrow night, so don't miss it. But we do have some other good games on tap. How about LSU against Missouri? Maryland against Ohio State. We got Washington State against UCLA. Virginia Tech against Florida State. Syracuse against North Carolina. Alabama, Texas A&M. Nick Saban, Jimbo Fisher? Come on. How about Kentucky going up against Georgia? Michigan is going to get a primetime spotlight, MF and Bullock. You guys got to love that. They got the Big Ten Saturday night game on NBC. So big moment for you boys from Michigan. And how about Notre Dame squaring off against Louisville? So those are just some of the games we're going to get into. But of course, right at the jump, gentlemen, make a note of MF, as our boy Richard Dawson once famously said, make a note of this show because the main event is starting it off tomorrow night. Red River kicks it all off. So don't miss it. Tomorrow night, 10:30, TXN Sports World, College Football Thursday, Week 6 edition. MF, starting it with the Red River rivalry. Does it get any bigger than that?
No, and this is one of the rare times where the main event jumps it off on our schedule. So yeah, no doubt about it. So be here at 10:30 sharp tomorrow when we get everything going. And then right after that, then we have Friday is NFL Friday, 10:30 on that. Saturday, Cerebral Smack Talk, 10:30, SmackDown Live, AEW Collision, and if necessary, we will be recapping the WWE Fastlane that goes down as well. And then we do it all again Monday night for Ridiculously Raw. So for Anthony Florio, for Michael Bullock, I am Michael Fletcher. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a wonderful evening. So long, everybody, and we will see you guys tomorrow night.